Hi guys, George here, and I'm going to bring to you today a solo play of Scenario 101, Throwing Down the Gauntlet. Now, what inspired me to play this scenario was the gentleman over at Spotting Rounds. They played this scenario, and I think it was over the course of three or so videos. So I'm going to try and make it into one video, and also show you the mechanics of how I played this solo. I did play it against an opponent. I think my opponent won on both occasions. On one occasion, um, I simply did not think of capturing his troops in order to gain double CVP, and I even let go of one broken unit, um, and he managed to self rally and take back a couple of points. So it was a close game, but no cigar in the first instance. On the second instance, I had an NVR of 0, so he was able to walk right up to me, go in close combat, and um, what we're playing against here is elite uh, Canadian units versus first line and conscript second line and conscript German units. So it was really not a great match, especially when your NVR is going down to 0. So there's a mild breeze. We didn't establish uh, wind change. And the victory conditions here is the Canadians win at game end by amassing 33 VP. CVP are awarded normally. In addition, the Canadians receive 3 VP if they control the pillbox and 1 VP building hex they control within the German setup area. So it's a very fun scenario. It's very interesting. And I found out a couple of rules, and I'm still learning with respect to the rules. And I also made a quick checklist, a night checklist in Word. Let me bring that up. And just to remind me of all the um, odds and ends with respect to night rules. So let's take a look at that and see what's going on. So during the rally phase, your weather roll depends on whether the night vision range or NVR will increase or decrease. You have to take into effect the moon phase and the cloud cover. There's a +1 hindrance, a DRM for hindrance, and LV. DRM, let's put that in there so we know what it is. Rally phase must be less than printed morale for DM or DM remains. So if you're trying to rally a unit and it doesn't roll less than the printed morale, they are still under DM. DM stays. Star shells less than or equal to MMC. This is prep fire. So the first thing you need to uh, know is have the conditions been met um, to fire off a star shell or not, then it's 2 or less for a multi-man counter to fire a star shell. And there's different mechanics about that. That's E1.92. 4 or less for a single man counter. And again, you have to remember the +1 line vision DRM. Sniper checks are for using captured support weapons. So that's called mistaken fire. E.176. Multi-location fire groups are not allowed at night, which is interesting. Roll for freedom of movement during the movement phase. DR less than the ELR, and the best leader must roll. And you have to do a random selection if you have more than one leader that has the same capacity as another. Once the scenario attacker resolves any attack other than successful ambush. I'm paraphrasing here. Again, during the defensive fire phase or movement, the defender can see if they can fire off a star shell. DM, radio spotting, ammo, vehicle, no gun flash. All right. +1 MF MP for moving in rally terrain. That's another thing that's a game changer. And if you don't take that into effect, the cloaked units will walk all over you. Cloaked units have 6 movement factors regardless, and no road movement bonus. Again, during a defensive fire, you have to remember about star shells. Units beyond NVR are not known. Multi-location fire groups are not allowed. Advancing fire, I guess you can also say that multi-location fire groups are not allowed at night during advancing fire as well. Multi-location, there you go. And route phase, no normal route must low crawl. Mines cause gun flash only if they cause a CR, break, immobilization, or eliminate a dummy. Close combat, ambush for the attacker is less than or equal to 2, not 3. And if you're dealing with elite stealthy units, then chances are you'll get ambush almost 9 times out of 10. CC causes gun flash as long as it's covered by a melee counter. So those are all the things you really need to remember, and they're just the basic rules. And I don't think that includes illumination rounds, right? So playing a night scenario is a bit complicated. Now imagine imagine doing that solo. So the mechanism I devised for playing solo is, first and foremost, you get one cloaking counter for each multi-man counter that you have. Okay, so now we're going to, these guys are designated A, B, C, D, E, and F, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to match these guys with these cloak counters. I ultimately I won't know where they are because I duplicated the cloak counters, as you can see here. I'm going to use these fellows almost like a cover, and these fellows for movement on the board, or these counters. They're not fellows. Wake up, George. Smell a coffee. Here we go. Now, here we go. H and I. Right, so these guys are designated A, B, C, D, E, and F, and they'll be represented by these counters, which I'm going to cover up and then mix around, mix around like there's no tomorrow, like this, like that, like this, like that, and mix them all over. As of course, they're now hidden to my view, right? And then put them back in any particular order. You can shuffle these as much as you want, right? And if you're playing with the board, you can, like, I guess you can use playing cards, or even or even footnote cards. You know, these cue cards. Label them with a soft pencil. Turn them over, and then randomize everything. So for the life of me now, I don't know which one is A, but I'll put 1 underneath A. If the letter does not represent one of these units, in other words, if it's a G, H, or I, that's called a dummy stack. But the problem is I don't know under which cloak counter each fire group is in. And it's to handicap yourself. You gotta really handicap yourself when you're playing solo. And the other thing is that you really have to think about the best move uh, for your opponent as well as for yourself, because when you go to play this game against the live opponent, you really want to uh, discover all the ins and outs of the scenario as much as possible. And I think the key takeaway, and I'd like to thank the guys at Spotting Around for putting up a video on this and inspiring me to play another night scenario. And I'm also going to play another night scenario from the classic game using ASL rules. And I'll bring you an ARR here. Maybe I'll do that with Dennis. It'll be really fun. And so where I was getting that is it's really fun. It's really, really fun. Now for the for the opponent here, I'm doing my traditional method where I randomly select 3 optimal locations to defend from, because they're the scenario defender, right? And I'm not going to bore set anything for one reason or another. It makes things too complicated. Maybe we'll think about it a little about bore sighting. We'll see. All right, so here I designated 3 random locations. So if I roll a 5 or an 8, this unit will be in um, in L4. However, I'm going to do the contrary of the scenario instructions and set up the Canadians first, not knowing where these units will ultimately be. Um, and for the obstacles, if I roll, uh, what happens is as soon as I get into the German setup area, let's say I'm here, I'm in L7. If I roll a number equal to on a 2d6 equal to the hex coordinate, 7 in this case, then I'm going to subsequently roll a 1d6, and determine which obstacle is in there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7. Now, you might ask, how do you roll a 1 on a 2d6? Like, for example, here, K1. So how do you roll a 1 on a 2d6 is as follows. Now you find out how you roll a 1 on a 2d6. So we're dealing with a colored die and a non-colored die, right? So if the colored die is a 1 and the black die is a 1, I actually rolled a 1. If it's the opposite, geez. Oh yeah. If it's the opposite in opposite order, meaning, right? Wait a second, that's stupid. No, it's not. All right. So you have a colored die and a white die. It's 2 either way. It's 2 either way. So you subsequently throw a 1d6, a 1 to 3, it's a 1, and a 4, 5, 6, it's a 2. There you go. That's how you roll a 1 on a 2d6. You have to subsequently roll a die and determine whether it's a 2 or a 1. With a 1d6, you have a 50-50 chance of rolling a 2 or a 1. Look, we have to compromise. We can't break physics, the laws of physics. All right. So with that said, let's zoom out. I think I configured the board so you can see my dice rolls. Let's zoom out and see where's the best place to attack. Now, you got to capture building hexes, and you can only come in from the north, west, or south. So north is here, west is here, and south is here. So you got to remember that these fellows have 6 movement factors, no road bonus, and you have to be careful about straying, a bit careful, because ordinarily these fellows don't stray that easily. They're elite, so you need a 6 on the colored die and a 6 on the colored die and a 5 or a 6 on the white die for them to do straying. So, and I don't know where each unit is, so I can come in through there and there. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to try and come in from 3 directions. I'm going to just move those units here. Now, from 3 different directions. and see what happens. And remove all the moves. Now we can set up these fellows. Okay, let's go with this stack and let's roll a 2d6. 2. And I said 1, 2, 4 is M10. So let's roll it in plus M10. Elemental P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. Oh, here's M10 right there. Okay, M10. That's where they go. I don't think there's any other M. Okay, they'll go there. And they'll be marked. And I think I'm going to put the trench there as well, because I did say there's M10. I'll put the trench there as well, and they have to be marked with a no move counter until such time as they can move. So here we go. You can put this on the side and mark with a no move. I can't believe he's there, but anywho. From there, come on. Put those fellows on top, not there. There you go. Put that there. Oh, I'm sorry. This guy was supposed to be with a uh, inside the trench, and you can inside the this thing here. Let's put the covered arc facing this way. There you go. Alrighty. This fellow, let's roll. That's a 9, and 9 indicates that they're in W8. And W8 is up here. What's the benefit of it being there? There's normally marked concealed, and that guy's concealed. He's in concealment terrain, and if he's not taken as a captured or eliminated, he can, without if it doesn't stray, he can walk back into a building and recapture it, denying the Canadian CVP. That's the point. He can go under a foxhole. He was originally under a foxhole. He has to be marked with a known movement counter. The defender units are marked with a no movement counter until they see a gun flash or they encounter an enemy. This unit, let's roll. And these guys are in 9. 9 is S6. Down here, and they have to be marked with a no movement counter. And we can conceal them. Here, let's roll. Oh, 2, Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes, they go in S4. Down here. Mark them with a no movement counter. Let's move some of these things closer by. Let's see. Here, the mortar. Let's roll for the mortar. 8. 8 for the mortar is M3. M3 is down there. Maybe we can put the entrenchment counter there. Sounds like a good idea. Huh. There you go. Let's put that back up here. Stack him back up there. Stack this guy back up there. This unit here, he should be on second level. 9. And 9 is W4. And we'll set him up hip because one way or another, we're going to force the, well, we won't do that. We won't go hip. I was thinking of going hip, so mandatory search for the attacker, but no, we'll just force him to go up and clear him out and see if that makes a difference. We'll conceal him though. Alright, let's go back up here. Let's roll for this fellow. 5. 5 is R7. There we go. Put one of these babies down there. Clone. Put him there. Put him up there. Conceal. Now this really, if you were playing live, you would have the defender with 1/4 of his OB able to set up hip, but in essence, I set it up not knowing where my units actually are, and not knowing where the defender will ultimately be set up, so kind of compensates for everything. Here, let's roll a 6. A 6 is R7 as well. That's a 4/4/7. And this fellow will be on the bottom, but still marked with NVR. No movement. Okay, come on. Here, let's roll a 2d6. We rolled a 7. That makes him go in M5. M5. Oh, M5. Let's put him in a foxhole. We lost the unit. No, we did it. There we go. Here. Get on it on no move. Put him there. And put him here. Huh. It's working out to be quite peculiar. This fellow here. 7. 7 is L7. Let's put him in L7. All the way up there. He has a foxhole. No move. He's a 4/3/6. He goes in L7. And this fellow here rolled a 3. And that's N6. Right up here. Since we didn't put the trench anywhere. N6 is a nice place to have a trench. Oh God. This is the, yeah, I think I can put them in the trench. Or I can put the trench anywhere I wish, I guess. It's a nice place to put the trench. I'll put the trench Yeah. Yeah, we can put the trench. Put him in a trench. There's no reason why. Oh, who knows? Who knows? Let's put the trench here for some reason or another. There we go. Okay. This fellow here is in concealment terrain. He'll turn around discovered arc like that, and he'll be marked with no move as well. I can take this off. I can take off all moves. Let's zoom out and see how things look. This looks like a really neat setup, I think, because you don't have to have all the units in the building set up within 6 hexes of 17Q1. And um, the units that are not engaged by an enemy unit can just walk up and retake some buildings. That's my thinking of it. So with that said, let's get the ball rolling. Roll an 11. Unfortunately, that is not anything in terms of change. Let's go to prep fire and move. We're going to move our cloaks as follows. So as long as they are on the road or adjacent to a road, they don't have they don't necessarily stray. And in this case, let's put these guys here because if they're next to a stream, they don't stray as well. So 1 to there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This fellow is going to go. This unit is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm still adjacent to the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We form a little phalanx. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to go around, I think, because going through here will involve string and it will involve, instead of 2 movement factors, will involve 3. So in this case, if I went this way, it would be 1. And then I have to do a string dice roll because I'm going into the woods. And if I succeed, it'll be 1. And then uh, 1, 4 to there. And then even if I were to go CX, I couldn't. Could I? Yeah, I could probably go 7 to there. Um, it would probably take me at least 2 turns, and here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there, and I take that building. Oh well, I'll figure it out. 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4. 5, and 6. Up there, let's not forget these boys. Now, this fellow is concealed. Okay. So we have an NVR of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And I can't, I don't think we met the conditions to throw star shells yet, so we're good. 1, 2, 3. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to there. I'm outside of the NVR, so I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to there. I'm still outside of their NVR. And keep in mind, I have no clue what these guys are. It can be anything. So, oh, we forgot to place our snipers. Let's place the German sniper here, and the Allied sniper there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good enough. Okay. So that is movement, defensive fire. I got nobody that can see them. They're all outside the NVR. Advancing fire, none. Route phase, none. Remove all the moves. Advance phase. Um, let's start advancing. Um, hmm. We'll advance them into here. Advance there. And advance here. Advance there. And advance here. Advance here. Here. And here. It looks good to me. Okay. Remove all the moves. Close combat. None. Let's, whoa, guys. Whoa. Let's put these guys down here. Okay, he moved. Let's do an incremental save. So on to German turn 2. Or German turn 1. Let's roll it over to rally phase, and all we do now is roll for NVR. Nothing there. No weather change. Go to prep fire. Everybody, not true. We are within NVR range here, and they're cloaked. This guy is supposed to be concealed. Everybody's supposed to be concealed. And losing concealment is pretty hard at night. And the reason why I'm putting everybody concealed is for close combat purposes, it makes a difference. And for firepower factors, it makes a difference. So they're all concealed. These guys are cloaked. And now I have some units within my NVR range. So I did a quick rulebook dive, and I noticed that I was considering using double time for cloaked units, and that is not possible. Cloaked units only have 6 movement factors, nothing more, nothing less, and all the weapons with under a cloak counter need to be dismantled if possible. Can I prep fire against a cloaked unit within my NVR? I'm not sure if that is possible. It could be, but it would probably be at area fire, um, and you know, in order to lose cloaking status, you have to move into an illuminated hex and expend movement factors there, or move into an enemy unit's hex. So at the same time, I have to consider that I don't know if any of these things are dummies. So I will not prep fire, and there's no movement because I haven't been able to move so far. So now we can defensive fire, and again, uh, even as the scenario attacker, I don't know which units are which units might be dummies. And ideally, I'd like to go into close combat and capture them for CVP rather than try to eliminate them with my inherent firepower. So no defensive fire, advancing fire, none, route none, advance phase. This is the German turn, and they don't have freedom of movement yet. Close combat. That was a quick turn, I hope. Save map as PNG file. Turn 1B .png, And file, save game as, same thing, add the vsave extension. For some reason or another, Windows 11 doesn't like to automatically distinguish between a vsave and a PNG file. Alright, so back to Canadian turn 2. And if I understand everything, the rules correctly, I can still move using non-assault movement within the NVR, and as long as the hex is not illuminated, I don't lose cloaking status. So let's roll for NVR. There's nothing, and weather. There's nothing there. And let's start going to red fire movement. Cloak counter E will move into the woods, so he'll make a straying die roll. Does not stray, so this is 3 and 6. And we cannot go CX. This fellow can go 3 and 6 without having to do a straying die roll because he's next to a stream. And this fellow is going to go 3, 6, do a straying die roll. Made it 3 and 6. Awesome. Now we'll go to the other flank. And since we're next to a road, what we're going to do is, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And here we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here we'll go 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I don't think the defender still sees anything. Um, so let's go to defensive fire phase. I'm not too sure if I have any defensive fire to begin with. Um, all the units, most of the units are within my NVR. They haven't revealed themselves to me. Best case scenario is I'm doubled and halved with no modifiers. And I could be wrong about this, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm still really in the beginning phases of learning night rules, but I'd like to play night more and learn more. I want defensive fire. We'll go to advancing fire, none. Route phase. Now here, I can voluntarily break and route in certain cases. Because here, technically I am capital adjacent to this cloaked unit and to that cloaked unit. Now does a cloaked unit constitute a known enemy unit? So if you look at capital adjacent, locations and units in them are considered capital adjacent or adjacent all caps if any infantry unit in one location can conceivably, ignoring any any enemy presence advancing to the other during the advance phase, and loss exists between the two locations, excluding smoke hindrance and NVR as factors. So, any infantry unit. And excluding hindrance and NVR, and knowing that this fellow might be captured or eliminated in close combat, he can voluntarily break, lose, lose concealment, and low crawl to there, because in using night rules, you can only low crawl. There you go. Does this fellow want to break and route? Um, this fellow does. This fellow definitely does not. So let's voluntarily break, lose concealment, delete this counter, and we route here. With the hopes that during the German self-rally, they'll be able to roll snake eyes and battle harden or go berserk. Let's remove that counter as well. Let's see what happens here now. That was route phase, so we can remove all moves. We did. Alright, let's go to advance phase. And this unit will advance there. This unit will advance here. Advance there. And ultimately, we have to take this location. Here, we'll advance in this direction into the foxhole. And G will move into here. And B will move into here. Okay. We have a potential close combat situation there. Oh, let's not forget about these dudes. Advance, advance, advance. Now, here during the movement phase, we should roll once. Let's see if we roll a 5. Nope. And here, let's see if we rolled a 5. We rolled a 5, a 1d6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's a wire marker there. Now, typically, you cannot advance into wire. Wait a second. Let's undo that. Where's the wire counter? Oh, here. You can't advance into a wire. So he goes back and there. And he advanced into there. We didn't roll a 5 here. Did we roll a 4? Nope. And here, did we roll a 7? Nope. Here, I don't think I can set up in wire or in a mine hex, so that excludes him from being there. Okay, so we just bumped into one wire there, and our sniper is there. He was moved. I think he was moved from here. That's where I had him. He shouldn't have moved. Okay, he was blocked by wire. That really sucks. Okay, that was my advanced phase. Let's go to close combat. Now here, in close combat, whether a cloaked unit moves into your location during your movement phase or in advanced phase, the first thing the attacker needs to do is reveal if there's an actual cloaked unit there, an actual unit. Otherwise, do not reveal the contents of that hex. And where did I get that from? So that's alpha 12.15 detection. And it's important to note because this is called the concealment loss bump. I believe it's called. So the attacker is concealed and he wants to unconceal you. So he marches into your hex. You have to reveal a unit and bump him back, but not before he actually has to reveal an actual unit to you. So it's in the bottom of the first paragraph, or let's say 3, 6, 9, around 10 or 12 lines down. If the attacker force, if the attacker is concealed, the defender can, before he reveals any unit, force him to momentarily reveal a non-dummy stack, a non-dummy unit in that stack. If the attacker cannot, this dummy stack is removed, and you do not reveal to your opponent what is in that hex. Period. So do not allow, like I did, your opponent to make you reveal the contents of that hex before they actually reveal a real unit. So now we're going to find out what's under B and G. So under B, there's a moment of truth, is actually B. Holy cow. So B is there. Okay. And under G, let's see what's under G. Where's the other cloak? Here. Let's put these guys there. This is what was under B. Under G is C. Holy cow! The two best units are up there. Oh, well, let's put them there. So we got two leaders. Two leaders. Sorry. Two leaders, three squads, and a lonely crew counter in close combat. And now that is within my NVR. And what's under A? Well, under A, we don't have to reveal that yet because he's not in close combat. Holy cow. So we do have a close combat situation there. We finished our advanced phase. So we got to figure out what's going to happen here. We got two leaders. Now, technically, this fellow is concealed. So he gets -2 to his ambush rule. I get -3 because I'm stealthy and my best leader. And there are 12, 18, 20 factors there to 2. That's like a 10 to 1. That's like, is there even a 10 to 1 on the close combat chart? Yeah. Anything, well, a 12. Well, anything but a 12 to capture him. Not to capture him, to eliminate him. And the squad can choose to attack, I guess, 1 to 4, or 1 to 4 just the same if he's attacking a 2 to 7. Oh, yeah, yeah. So let's take a look at those. So I kind of, what did I do? I did an Excel sheet to help me figure out the attack. So we got 6 times 3 plus 2 here, a total of 20. That was calculated right to 2. So that's a 10 to 1, and a 1 to 8 if I attack the whole kit and caboodle. But if I attack a leader and a squad, then I got a 1 to 4. And for the German, and the question is do I want to attack or do I want to remain concealed? Well, I think I'm going to have to attack back in this case, because if I don't attack back, I'm eliminated for sure. But now, as the British player, ultimately what I want to do is capture him, make him my prisoner, eliminate the possibility that he will retake a unit, and count them as double casualty points. So all I have to do is add one to um, my CC attack. So it's called capture attempt. So it's a +1. Sounds good to me. Now, before we do that, do we have to figure out ambush? Nope, there is no ambush. I am not in woods or a building, unfortunately. I am not in woods or a building. This guy should have been concealed, completely unknown to me. But, you know, there's only so much we can do playing solo. Uh, so I'm attacking back at 1 to 4. There is no um, there is no ambush here. So 1 to 4, and I'm going to lose concealment. Plus nothing. 1 to 4. Okay. Um, and the Canadians are attacking 10 to 1. -2 +1. -2 for my best leader. +1 for a deliberate capture attempt. So ordinarily I would need a 12. Well, 12 wouldn't count. I need probably a 10 or less on my CC attack to capture him. And the crew needs a 3 to eliminate a squad uh, that is defending with the leader, and the leader here is defending with a squad that does not have a support weapon. So it's Canadian turns first, so let's roll. Remember, it's not an ambush situation. Roll 10, which is exactly what I needed to get him. So 10 to 1 is 12. So I got him. I actually rolled an 11. He's my prisoner. Let's see, in the process, did he eliminate one of the squads and one of the leaders? So close combat. No, he did not. So now we get a prisoner counter, reduce the size, and let's put him in the allied casualty bin. No, Axis casualty bin. Uh, that. No, maybe not. We'll just count them manually. Yeah. All right, so there. Label him A. Clone. And what we're going to do is put the dude underneath the counter and conceal him. Boink. Put him underneath the counter. Deploy one of these as a half squad. Clone. And prisoner A will go with this fellow here. Now once you lose a cloaking counter, you're done. And let's put him down here to keep tally of everything. So we'll keep prisoners here. This thing is unconcealed. We can delete that. Delete the concealment counter. And we can delete the CC counter. Let's put that prisoner on top like that. Nearly lost that one. And now, since we resolved all CC attacks, I believe these guys can actually conceal, because the broken unit cannot deny concealment. I think you need to be a really skillful player to win this game as the German player. And notice I don't have my thinking cap on. I was meaning to say that at work I'm known as the man with many hats, or at least I'd like to think I am. Literally. All right. So let's save 2A. So we did our incremental save. Now, the thing that is important to remember is, well, NVR, none, no change. My good order leader, wherever he might be, can try and roll a 1d6 to gain freedom of movement. All right, this was rally phase. Yep, so movement. Roll for freedom of movement, DR less than ELR. That was not a successful ambush, so we do have the ability to roll for freedom of movement. Prep fire, that stack is no longer marked with MLE, so there's the gun flash went away. Not that it matters now. So movement, let's roll a 1d6 to see if this dude can uh, attain a freedom of movement. Nope, ain't good. So again, defensive fire. It doesn't look like I have any. Um, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but my covered arc is this way. Oh, let's not forget self-rally. So let's try and self-rally this guy. Nope. They're still marked under DM. He's marked, he's still under DM because he didn't roll less than a 5. Okay. So there is no defensive fire, movement, none. Um, defensive fire, none that I can see. All right. Uh, advancing fire, none. Route. Okay, this is important. This fellow will route back uh, there uh, to there. A little problem with my rule set is that I'm not rolling for obstacles for the uh, defender. I'm only rolling obstacles for the attacker. Okay, alrighty then. So now they should have gained concealment. Yep, they did. Good. Uh, let's go to advanced phase. Obviously, I don't have anything because I don't have any uh, freedom of movement. And next is close combat. Now, I like the idea that I brought units from here and there, because this fellow here, eventually he'll meet a unit coming from one side or the other. So I'm coming in from 3 directions, which is pretty good. I don't have a problem with that. Close combat, concealment gains, none. All right, let's remove all moves and do another incremental save. Okay, we did our incremental save, so we're on to rally phase ally turn 3. All right, let's roll for NVR. No NVR change. NVR only goes down to 0 when I'm playing against a live opponent. Prep fire. I don't think we have any prep fire. Let's go to movement. This is where I have to remember that I have to roll for obstacles. Um, so this fellow will roll for, this unit will roll for strain. And let's see if I can roll for star shells as the defender now. So star shells, initial use for star shells and illumination rounds, it's Echo 1.91. So no star shells IR may be fired in scenario until one of the 3 has occurred. While the friendly force has no motorized vehicle on board, an enemy motorized vehicle changes its covered arc or its vehicular covered arc within 16 hexes of a friendly unit that is currently capable of firing the star shell IR. That's not the case. A friendly unit capable of firing a star shell IR or spotting, observing, or an IR capable fire has lost to an enemy unit and fires star shell IR. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. Well, it does. It does, I think. A gun flash is placed due to an enemy FFE or an attack versus an enemy unit. Once an IR has been fired, both sides are free to use either IR. I don't think that has happened so far. So, so let's so. So let's go to movement, and we cannot place, as far as I know, any illumination rounds. So let's start with here. We'll roll for any straying. Whoa! I actually got a straying dice roll. Jeez. And jitter fire, I believe. 6-6. Whoa, man. I should be very careful with my hands, man. I don't want to hurt myself. Whoa, that's really boxcars, man. Wow. So straying. 12. Moving unit, jitter fires. That's not good. So, a little 6-6, jitter fire. Jitter fire can occur in a scenario. And jitter fire cannot occur in a scenario until at least one gun flash has been placed due to an attack versus an enemy unit. Well, it never resolved into a melee, so that was not a gun flash. So there, but we do have a straying DR. So now we got to roll for direction and distance, I think. Yeah, it isn't jitter fire because jitter fire cannot occur uh, in a scenario until at least one gun flash has been placed due to an attack versus an enemy unit. That close combat roll did not result in a melee. Only a melee is a gun flash, so there is no jitter fire. And at this juncture, I think I have to roll a second 2d6 to see direction and distance. So direction is 1 in terms. 1 is in this in the direction of the hex coordinate, and 6 is he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it does not go to his intended target, and he missed the friendly units to stop him from straying. Oh Lord! Well, whoa, wait a second. He didn't. He wanted to go here. That was his intent. So he did have to roll straying because he would have been not adjacent to a road. That I think we got it right. So let's keep our heads cool and and see what we can do. All right. So in other news, what we're going to do is we're going to take a half squad, the other half squad with the prisoner, a full squad, and my 8-0, and create a clone and put them there. And they're going to go 1 to there. Now we resort back to normal movement. 1, 2, and 5 to there. So I guess leaders are important in night rules. All right. We have to roll to see if there's a mine there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if we roll a 6. Okay, we did not. Oh, wait a second. We have to roll first an 8. Let's see. Nope. Mines could have existed here. That's a 7. Wait a second. He was there. He went 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, we had to roll here for a mine. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 7, 8, and 8. Let's see. 7. Nope. 8. Yes. Here, 1d6. 6. It's a mine. Here. And is it 1 to 3, It is 6 firepower factors, and 4, 5, 6, it's 12. So 1 to 3, it's 6 factor mine, so it's a 6 even shot, 5 on the 6. So there's mine number 1, and a 5 on the 6 is a 1 morale check. And conceal them for now. Leader breaks, squad passes, prisoners, they're dead. Now we can put them in the casualty bin. And two good order squads pass and pass. So just a leader broke. And then that's a 6 factor mine over there, discovered. And then we didn't see an obstacle there. So he went 1, 2, and we would have to go late CX 5 to there. There's no more prisoner. We can put him down there and just mention that he was a KIA. Casualty bin, no, label, KIA. They would have to go late CX into that building. And then incur a 6 point factor. Oh, we'll wait until the advanced phase and figure that one out. Okay, let's take a no strain dice roll, but going here, is there an obstacle? We need a 6 there. Nope, there's no obstacle. So they're going to go 1 to there. Here, is there an obstacle? Nope. Okay, 2, 4, and 5, 6. There. Let's see if there's an obstacle in there. Yep. And now it can be either a wire or a minefield. 5, it's a wire. So he can't advance off the wire as of yet. This is deleted. These guys moved. We're going to wait before we can move in there. So here we're going to have to roll to see if there's any other obstacle, and it's not, so 1 to there. Let's see if there's an obstacle there. Nope. And 1 to there, and 4 to here. And we captured our first building. We'll wait and advance him into close combat. Let's see if there's an obstacle there. Nope. Let's go here. That's 2.5. 2.5, 3, 4.5 to there. Let's see if there's an obstacle there. Nope. 3, 4.5 to there. And we'll stop there. We'll try and eliminate him for failure to route. No other choice. So let's see if there's an we're not in the setup zone, so we don't have to roll for obstacles, but we do have to roll for straying. No straying. 3 and 4 to there. Okay, that's good. Let's roll this guy for straying. None. So 1 to there and 4 to there. Let's put him in there. He rolls for straying. 6-2. Ain't going to cut it. So he goes there. He should have rolled for an obstacle there as well. So let's see. A 4. Uh, can't put wire in a building hex, so that's fine. Well, actually, a 4 it can be a mine. So let's see if it's a 6. If it's a 6, it's the other 6 mine factor. Nope. Okay. Can't put wire there. So this guy rolled for string and still not in setup area, so it's 1 to there and 2, 3 to there. That's my movement. I'm not sure if this fellow could have attacked him moving through the NVR. I guess they unconcealed because now this caused a this caused a gun flash. I wonder if there's a gun flash counter. Anywho, this guy incurred a gun flash there. So this fellow can see him now. What are we gonna do? Do a 4 or even attack? He did see a gun flash, so we should try and attack there. But these guys are approaching, and we want to keep our concealment status. So we're debating whether we should fire that unit there, that should be actually concealed, to him. And these units are certainly on the wire, are certainly known to him, even though they are concealed. Within NVR, on wire. So I'm not even sure if he could have made it there. If the wire was there, it would have been 2, 4, because we have +1 for concealment terrain in movement factors, and 2, 4, and then 6. Yeah, 6 to go to there over the over the over the wall and onto the wire that he didn't see. Jeez. So 4 plus no 4 even shot. There's no intervening wall there, halved and doubled, or a 4 even shot there, and they're in the mine hex. And this fellow here, I'm pretty sure that his line of sight is probably covered by the woods here. Hmm. I should fire. I should fire at least a 4 even shot from here to there, because it will take at least 2 turns for them to get off, another turn to get off the wire. Right, so what we're going to do is do a 4 even shot there and a 2 even shot here. And I'm going to conceal. And these guys are going to be technically marked with the gun flash. So if their attack is not successful, these guys can fire back in the advancing fire phase. That's how I worked it out. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Be respectful, because I like to run a respectful channel. And forgive me, I don't have any a green space behind me, but that's neither here or there. All right, so 4 even attack. Boom. 6 on the 4. Where's my charts? 6 on the 4. 6 on the 4 is a normal. Again, normal. Normal, normal, normal. So 8, 8, 8. We don't have any prisoners anymore. That's a good thing. 8 for the leader. Oh crap, he wounds. It's a good wound. 8 for the squad. My ALR is 3, I believe. Let's see. I mark it on my 04. So he breaks. 8 on the 2 half squads now. Pass. Pass. The half squads are great. He's marked with a final fire. And I didn't cower in that roll. Nope. And halved, doubled and halved. 2 even shot from there to there. Let's see. Nope. So they're all marked with a perp fire. Here, there's not much I can do. They're under cloak. Here, there's not much I can do. They're under cloak. That was defensive fire. Advancing fire. Now, these fellows can fire back on the squad on the first level. 2 up, 2 attack. Nope, advancing fire. And that's all I got for advancing fire. Let's turn it to route phase. And the leader and the squad will attempt to route. They don't see this guy. Now we can take a free line of sight check. Nope, and they don't see him, so they can go into the woods or into the building. They're not getting any closer to anyone, any known unit, so there. Let's go into the building, one at a time. So first the leader takes a 6 shot. 6 on the 6 is a 1 MC. He passes. Now the squad, 6 on the 6. 5 on the 6 is a 1 check. He needs a 7 or less. Makes it. And that is the axis sand. Alright, he makes it. You don't have a sand during the advancing phase, during the route phase. So that's their DM. We should have removed all prep and def and movements, but we'll mark them as being moved. This fellow technically can continue to route because they're not known units. They would have to lose voluntary cloak status in order to prevent them from moving. I think, yeah. Yeah, and if they were in the terrain, technically that fellow would have to route to there into a cloaked or concealed unit, and um, then end up being eliminated. Um, so I think I gotta let him route to there. I'm not ready to reveal a real unit being there, so he routes to there, and they route to there. And in night scenarios, it's perfectly okay to be there, as per the rules, I believe. So everybody routed. Okay. Now advanced phase. So now the advanced phase is these 2 fellows can move as a group and take a 1 attack or move individually. Let's do it this way. Move the stack, take the same attack. I-15. 7 on the 6 is a normal, top to bottom. They broke in open ground. Oh lordy. Let's remove all moves here. It's still the advanced phase. It doesn't matter. Alright, so let's go here. I'm not even sure if C has a real unit. Well, at this point, we got a reveal C as well, because it's so it's D. All right, so there is a real unit there. Okay, H moves into there. E moves up. We already established that there's no, this fellow here moves into W, and here we move into the first level there. These guys are stuck. Curse. Curse, curse. All right, so we got that. Let's go into close combat phase. Now we know that a unit is real. Let's see what's under H. Well, yeah, we don't have any other real, or yeah, let's see what we have in terms of close combat. We have this. We have this. We did discover that under C there's a real unit, I think. And we got another close combat there. So here, we have to reveal a real unit under D if one exists. Under D is E. So there is two 648s there. And the cloak is lost. So D is this one. The cloak is lost. And they're locked in CC. And we can remove the no move. Now, we have decisions to make. First and foremost, we're not in woods and buildings, so there's no ambush. And we would be keeping our concealment as Germans. So we have a 12 to 4. I believe that's a 3 to 1. That should be easy. 12 to 4, 3 to 1, and 1 to 4. Now, if I keep my concealment, I'm actually attacking at 6. So it's a 3 to 2. And I will be keeping my concealment. With a 3 to 2 attack, I need a 6 or less to I need a 6 or less to casualty 6 to casualty reduce and 5 or less to eliminate him. And if the German unit was not keeping his concealment and attacking back, he would be attacking back at 1 to 4 means a 3. So 6 it is. We're keeping our concealment, and he cannot keep me in melee if I am keeping my concealment. So, all right, 3 to attack. The German unit is not attacking back. Let's roll for close combat. 9. Technically, it's still marked with a CC, and I cannot keep him in melee, and he cannot keep me in melee because I am concealed. Okay, here, counter H. We first need to reveal if there's a real unit there, and it's A. Whoa! So A is there. Now we got a 9-1 leader there. And 9-1 leader is locked in combat. This DM, this H is lost. No more cloaking counter for them. And that is all fine and dandy. These guys are here. And they roll for an ambush because now they are in the woods, in a wooden building. So good order Canadians first. They have a total of -2. -1 for being stealthy, -1 for the leader. So they rolled a 1, and the German squad rolls a 1. 1. Actually rolled a 2 because he is broken. But still, 2 minus 1 is 1. It's not 2 or more, so there's no ambush. But they'll have to try and withdraw from close combat. So withdraw is a -2. No, -2 for being broken, and withdrawing is another -2, I believe. If we look at our chart, I made a little Excel chart. Factor should be there. So capture attempt is +1, -1 if you relax. Withdrawing infantry is -2, and broken is -2. So I get a total of -4, -5 with my leader, and +1 for the capture attempt. It's a total of -4. So it's definitely a capture attempt, and it's 6-2. This guy still defends. Okay, 6-2. It's actually 7-4. And a 7-4. Not that much. 3-2. 3-2 -4. So I need 10 or less. Let's roll it. Ooh, that is capture and infiltration. So let's get this guy here, unbreak him. And we got a full squad this time. So he counts for 4 points. And call him B. Okay, and clone him. Clone him, good. And put him underneath here, like that. And for the life of me, I don't feel like deploying. And they're not marked under MLA. They're not marked under MLA, so there's not technically not a gun flash there. Delete, and we got another building hex. Controlled. Okay, and here, does E have a real unit? H is nothing at all. There is no H. So this is a dummy stack, and we can remove E. There's nothing there. Oh, been a long day, been a long night. Pardon my French or English or Greek, for that matter. And there is no CC. And technically speaking, this guy can, I think he can move now. No, he can't. 2 different hexes. All right. Geez, this was the longest turn so far. So let's remove all moves. Let's remove all pins. And we did say G is a real unit because it's important for capturing. Yeah, in G we have C. C is down on the board, I think. Under G we have C. C is. We should add at least a squad in there. A is over there. We don't know who's under A. What happened to squad C? C. Oh, he's up there. How did he get there? So let's just remove this cloak counter. Technically, we didn't capture this building. C inadvertently ended up in the wrong location up here. Hope we didn't make two C counters. Oh, anyway, that means that guy never existed. Yeah, spooks in the night. Don't look under any other cloak counters. We may very well that we don't have any British units there. We committed an error. We inadvertently put Group C there as opposed to down here. They're broken. Not much we can do there. All right, let's turn 3A. Concealment gains. Um, I think these guys are ultimately concealed. Again, I don't see any unit that can see them. Not even, I don't think this guy can see it. Let's see, it's free loss check. Nope, good. These guys, blocked by the hedge. These guys are not in good order. I don't think there's any concealment gains, so let's save the game. That's 3A. So we did our incremental save. Let's turn it to German turn 3. Let's roll for NVR. No change. Let's roll for a self-rally. And the self-rally will be here. Nope, and they keep their DM. Okay, and here we have a British rally. So he needs a 3 or less. Nope, then they keep their DM. These guys broke in the advanced phase. They keep their DM. Everybody has to keep their DM unless they roll less than their printed morale. The other thing you need to remember is that the sands are 2 greater than their printed. So actually the allied sand is a 4. You may have missed a couple of sands, and the axis is a 6. So we may have missed a couple of sand checks here. Yeah. Yeah. And that's another rule you have to remember is that the sands are 2 greater than the printed, and at no time can the sands be reduced less than the printed sand check. Sniper activation, guys. Alright, so we rolled for rallies, we rolled for NVR, prep fire. These guys should not be marked under a no move counter anymore. They seem gun flashes. I could be wrong on that, but anywho. These guys are already broken, so they're going to, this fellow is going to roll a 4, oh, actually 2, even shot, nothing. This guy's going to roll a 1 even shot, nothing. So they're marked with a gun flash. Who can see them? Not many people. Alrighty then. He was not in under a anything I don't know. He was not marked in with any uh, any any fortification counter, and so if we go to movement, they're not locked in melee. They can assault move 2.5. They can't assault move. They can't assault move because they only have 2 movement points, and it will be 2.5 to go there, and they cannot CX as well because then if they go CX, it's 5 portage points. They're up the hill without a. Let's see, 5 portage points, MMC, CX. Then it would be a non-assault movement, and they would lose concealment. So they're better off at this point to unconceal and triple point blank fire. That's my take on it. But I already called movement. Yeah, let's go back. I'm sure my opponent will forgive me. Here we go. Go back. Let's go here. Here's another prep fire. So 12, 12 even shot. 7 on 12. 7 on 12 is a one check, so the British each need a 7 or less, first to bottom, and second. 7 pins. They both pin. Ha! They pin. They're still marked with a close combat counter. And even if I move out, I can't. I'm gonna move. He's marked with a prep fire. So somebody sees a gun flash, I hope. Nope, nobody sees a gun flash. Alright, now we can go to movement. Sorry for the jumpy screen. Okay, movement. Germans. Oh, they have to roll a 1 or 2. Nope, no freedom of movement. Leader stays where he is. So we can't move anywhere. And let's go to defensive fire. Defensive fire, they're triple and halved, so 12 times 1.5. 12 times 1.5 is 18. We'll go down to 16. Yeah, triple and half because they're pinned. 16 even shot against the German unit. Let's roll it. Ooh, 5 on the 16 chart. 5 on the 16 is a 3 morale check. Let's see what happens there. We rolled a 6, a 9, so they actually break, and their ELR is 2, so they didn't LR, but they broke. So there is another capture opportunity going on. And they final fired. Well, technically, you would be able to fire a total of up 1 and doubled. Yeah, let's remove that concealment. So they get a +1 detriment for being, I believe, from firing from a wire hex. +2 for the building. Sorry. I actually sneezed online. Okay, it's fine. I'm human. +3, -2 for the leader, so it's a total +1. 12 up 1 on the lower hex. 9 on the 12 chart is a normal morale check. I passed, but it's the axis and twice. I was actually rolling the axis and as the axis, so there's nothing there. Final. Um, so we did get some fire shots here. Fire downstairs, a cloaked unit. It's an NVR, but it's cloaked. Doesn't actually see him. Could be wrong about that. Alright, that's it. That's it. There's no more line of sight that I think I have. Advancing fire. None. And let's go to routes. Route phase. Route phase. Route phase. Let's see. Let's remove all moves. Let's remove all prep and def. These guys are technically marked with a CC counter, so he can route. And leave the left behind. Can't believe that guy got captured. He stays where he is. These guys technically have to route to there, into the woods. So let's do it. 6 shot, nothing. The other fellow, Actually, let's move him into here. I don't see anybody there. Oh, he's getting closer to that within the NVR. Right, okay, back. This fellow here, um, yep, 4 on the 6 is a 2 check, 5 or less. Oh, broken units can't pin, and it's not an interdiction rule, so there you go. And technically, these guys can roll it back as well, because they're not getting closer to any known enemy unit. There. So we have everybody under DM in the woods. Drink some coffee. Cold now, but it don't matter. Advanced phase, German advanced phase. Oh boy. And close combat. There's no more close combat. Put him all the way down. He dropped it. Okay. Close combat, none. Concealment gains, none. And now let's do our incremental save. All right. On to Canadian turn 4. Roll for NVR change, 6-1. Would probably lower the NVR change. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Yeah. So according to the scenario, could have gotten the other NVR change with 6-3 incorrect as well. 6-4 doesn't do anything. 6-3 and 6-5 do something. German is normal. Canadian is, yeah. So we have EC is wet with wild breeze and start to east, from east to west. Road is deep stream with road depiction and hex sorting a stream artwork. Road is paved, night roads are infect, the base is 3 hexes, Canadians are attackers, Germans defender, majority squad type. Mine wires may not set up in road hexes. Ooh, and we didn't, so. Oh, we did, 1. Hey, so what? We got something wrong. That wire should not have been in the road hex, it's fine. So 6-1, I believe, is a lowering of the so cloud cover. And moon. I'm not too sure if you got to play with the moon phase here. I'll just keep it simple. A 3-1 lowers the NVR to a minimum of 0. A white DR5 raises the NVR. A white DR4 is no change before. Okay. So I'm not entirely sure, but I think that since we rolled a 6-3, the NVR goes down by 1. It said something about excluding, Echo 1.12 says something about excluding an exclusion if the scenario specifies scattered clouds and a half moon or full moon. The NVR change is not necessarily one hex change, but is equal to a subsequent final DR that is divided by 3 fractions rounded up for a half moon and divided by 2 fractions rounded up for a full moon. When the NVR change color DR indicates the base NVR change, the white DR determines whether the base is an increase or decrease. I just think it's safe, just safe to say that in this case the NVR goes down to a 2. It changes things a little bit. Then so it's Canadian turn 4. Let's see if one of the squads will try and self-rally because they're not under a good order leader. Right, so let's do that and rally. So they don't rally, but they're above the DM counter. Now the leader is going to try and rally. He rolled a 6. His normal morale now is a 7. He does not rally, but he's above the DM counter as well. And that's it. That's all she wrote. These guys keep their DM. Oh, yeah, they keep their DM. Because they had no time rolled less than their printed morale. Even if they're in rally terrain, I don't think they get the printed morale off, the DM off. All right, prep fire. Prep fire. This guy ultimately wants to move for one reason or another. So these guys are no longer marked under a pin. They're within NVR range of this dude, and they have a 24 firepower attack against this dude. There's no 10. They don't cower because they're Canadians first line elites. 8 on the 24 is a 2 check. So they have to roll for a 5 or less. No. Axis Sand, so they half squad. And clone. And put this fellow here in the Axis casualty bin. And they prep fired. Let's move. Yeah, let's move. Okay, move. And they'll roll to see how much movement points they've lost to go underneath the wire. Just 2. Okay. So they're underneath the wire. Now, we can get the heck out of there. They expended, I guess, 1 movement factor to get underneath the wire so they can fire at them. I didn't declare an assault move. I should have declared assault move. Alright, so now they'll do an 8 even shot against them. 8 on the 8 is a normal. So we got a 9. Made it. Allied sign. I mean the allies. And now with a normal, needs a 10 or less. That is heat of battle, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Heat of battle. Yeah. MC and Rally DR. Heat of battle. So heat of battle. They're elites, so they get -1. Elites, elite and British, so they get -2. It says each. All right, so let's do that. 3. So it's hero creation. That's what we got. We got a British hero. I'm gonna call him Winston. Why not? Let's roll out the counters. This guy's marked with a final fire. And let's see. Where's my counter tray? Come on, get out. There it is. And Allied OB. British. Single man counter. Here's Winston. Winston has been born. Name Winston. Put him underneath the wire counter. Okay. So they moved. They were a real unit. Okay, so they need to move as a stack. So I'll go assault move to there. And this fellow is going to assault move up. And these guys are broken. These guys prep fired. That's all she wrote. Let's move it to defensive fire. He didn't final fire. He first fired, I believe. So for defensive fire, we'll roll a 4 even shot. Nothing. He final fired. And a 2 even shot for the 2. And that's the Allied SAM. We did say 4 even shot. 4 on the 4. 4 on the 4 is a 1 check. A 1 check, so leader first. Makes it. Axis SAM. So we got a SAM. And then Winston. He wounds. Easy come, easy go for heroes. And wound check. Makes it. And the leader made it. So a 1 check becomes a actually -1 check. So let's do that. It passes, and that's the Axis SAM. So we have one SAM for the British. It's a bad one. Direction and distance, 2 and 3. Direction 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This fellow here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's either this guy or this guy or this guy actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll move him here because we know we have 2 units there. What the heck? Random selection, top to bottom. And the bottom unit gets it. I think that bottom unit breaks. It's not a good thing, I don't think. Yep. A1 breaks an MMC. Breaks the MMC. And now we got 2 sniper checks for the Germans. Sniper check number 1. 2, nothing. Cool. Cool runnings, man. So, I think that's the defensive fire. Advancing fire. They have assault fire. That's cool. So that's a 7. 1 for the 7 and 1 for the for the hero, that makes it an 8. An 8 even shot on the unit on top. Maybe 4, because we're not adjacent. Make it 4. What the heck? 4 even. Nothing. Advancing fire. I could be wrong on that one too. There. Okay, that's it. Let's stop monkeying around with shots that aren't going to make a difference. All right, so route phase. The unit on the bottom will route to there. Let's remove all prep and moves, but mark that guy as a move. This fellow will low crawl to there. The other fellow is going to stay there. These guys can stay where they are. They got their DM removed by rolling less than their printed morale. Let's go on to advanced phase. So advanced phase, this fellow will move up into there. This fellow will move into there if they're real units. And we'll say that we captured from these 2 building hexes. And clone and that building hex. And it's still advanced phase, so now we know where the pillbox is, so we'll go there. Do we risk it for the biscuit? We were hoping that these guys rally. That's all we can do. And these folks are going to get in there. By going in there, though, we got to roll a 7 to see if there's any hindrance. There's a 7. You can't be a wire, so we'll make the mine hex there. Right. So we'll go in, take a 6 attack. Oh, we'll roll to see if it was actually a mine. Make it fair. No, there was no mine. Put it back. Alright. They moved there. They advanced. These guys are just going to hold their position. I can't afford to have these guys get freedom of movement and then start strolling around me. Okay, so we did advance. Let's do close combat, and over here we have to reveal Cloak F. Cloak F is F. And that's 1 unit. I have no idea how that guy lost his concealment. But remove Cloak F and Cloak I. One of these units is I, which is nothing. And one of these units has to be D. I don't know who is D. Didn't we even remove Cloak A? Oh, we didn't. Oh, Cloak A is... I completely forgot about that guy who strayed. Oh, crap. That's what I was missing. Completely forgot about that guy. Cloak I, we already revealed. He's a dummy. Yeah. So get rid of that cloak. So after all was said and done, only 1 unit advanced from that direction. Wow. Wow. I think it's an interesting way to play this game. Invent your own rules. I come from the classic crowd. Yeah, so that's my advanced phase. And then, yeah, the typical classic crowd would probably forget to bring their OB up on the board on the right turn. All they're concerned about is shooting. So technically, I don't think that came from there. No, we'll mop up and claim the entire thing. Go TI and mop up. That's it. All right, so here we have a true close combat with an ambush roll. So I get a -1 for being stealthy. Roll it. Oh, I get a 0, and the German unit gets a 1 as well. Not enough for an ambush, so we got a. Oh, who was there? We got a 3-1 and a 1-4. And I'm going to try. Let's look at the odds 3-1. I'm going to try and capture him, so I'm going to add +1 to my dice roll. My Don't they get -1 for being stealthy? No, that's in ambush. Okay, I'll do that, and he'll attack back at 1-4. So my attack first. Got him. His attack. One more than he needed. I'm really lucky on that one. Alright, so we got him as a prisoner. We got him as a prisoner. Size. And this is scene. Ooh, size. And label. Scene. And clone. We'll put this fellow here. I'm expecting more prisoners, so there we go. No more CC counter, no melee. Okay. At this juncture, we can do concealment gains. I don't think they can conceal. These guys can conceal. And this dude can conceal. No good order squads there. Next couple of turns, we have to remember to get A back into the game. A is our only remaining cloak counter. Appears that way. A, C, and E. One of these three is a dummy, and one of these are good. I think that, yeah, we got rid of C, we got rid of E. So actually A is the only remaining cloak counter, and it's probably 2 squads that strayed, and I completely forgot about them. Completely forgot about those dudes. Let's do our incremental save. I was just thinking about rolling 1 on a 2d6. Well, you roll 2, and then you roll a subsequent die. 1 to 3 it's a 1, and 4 to 5, 6 it's a 2. So technically you're not rolling 1 on a 2d6, you're rolling 1 on a 2d3. And then calculate the odds of that happening. Hey, it's German turn 4. Let's roll for NVR change. 6-1 again. And now the NVR goes down to 1. Lower. 1. Let's do a self rally here. Let's see what happens. I think that ultimately did it. Let's see. No, it didn't. But I can choose to take off the DM, and I think I will. um, I will. Can't self rally there. Cannot self rally here. The DM doesn't come off until you roll less than the printed morale. So they can continue to route using night rules. All right. That was my rally phase. Very eventful. Prep fire. We'll roll a 4 up 2 on the bottom. And that's nothing. Final fired. Or prep fired. Rather. What a bunch of you got that no move counter can come off, and let's go to yeah, this is German movement, so we have to roll for freedom of movement, and we did. So this fellow here is now free to move. Finally, that guy's free to move. That is my best order leader. No, actually, this guy is my best order leader. So put that move, no move counter back. Let's see something. Yep. He is free to move. He is free to move. We rolled a freedom of movement shot. UPIA. So they have to roll a strain roll in order to move. We're going to go to the movement phase. Yep. So rolls for strain, does not stray, and let's go one to there and 2 to 3 to there. Puts everybody in their DM. Well, actually, he had to rally. Let's take it and see what happens. Nope. Actually, here, nope. And the other units do not. Okay. All right. They're under DM. Yeah, we're assuming that the mines are known to the enemy, but not to the British. I guess their no system is free of flaws and okay. Oh, he moved. Nobody else can move. Let's go to defensive fire. For defensive fire, they're going to go and fire 12 even on top, 10 on the 12 is a pin check, and you roll a test check, and he pins. Uh, no other shots. Let's go to advancing fire. And now he can advance fire here without losing his concealment because nobody can see him. So it would be a 6 even shot there. 7 on the 6 is a normal. So 7 for the leader. Wounds. He's wounded for a second time, so let's do the wound check. He's good. And then uh, yeah, 7 and 6, it's normal. Alright, so we need 7, 8, 7. Is he a full squad? Nope. He is deceased. Next squad makes it. Last squad, need a battle. So they were broken and elite. Elite -1, broken +1 cancels each other out. They do the heat of battle roll, got 5. So they battle hardened, which makes them fanatic. Brick. Fanatic. And they also made a hero. So we'll copy this guy. And he's not wounded anymore. We'll give him a new name. Name will be Sax. is a big sacker. Boink. He's a 4, -1, and they're a 5, -1. Hmm. That's what happened there. Something good should have happened to the Germans a long time ago. Let's rout. So rout, they can stay where they are. They can stay where they are. These guys can technically low crawl away to here. These guys can stay where they are. Those guys can stay where they are. These guys can route back 1 hex. Their DM. They don't see anybody else. That's route. Okay, advance phase. So advance. We said we're gonna. Oh man. Yeah, it's not my turn. It's fine. Cloak counter A. Jeez. Cloak counter A. All right. Uh, let's remove all moves and all prep and fire. We should have done that just before the prep fire phase. All right, so let's advance. I'll go into close combat here. There we go. You have no choice. Um, no other unit can advance. They're all marked with envy. No movement counter. So let's go to close combat. -2 for being concealed, -1 for the leader makes it -3, and Sax gets -1 for being stealthy and -1 for his hero DRM. So -3, -2. All right, so let's roll for the Germans first. They're in woods, yeah. They rolled a 2, and the British rolled nothing. So there's no ambush, and we'll lose the DM, the concealment counter. We're all attacking. 5 to 4 is 1 to 1. -1 for the leader. Nope. And they'll attack back at 1 to 2. -1. 1 to 2. -1 is a 3. That guy just got eliminated. That was a bad one. That's a bad move. I was hoping I could get them. That was really bad. Axis, axis, axis. And this thing drops to the ground. And it'll stay there because if I fire it, it'll cause an automatic sniper check. No more close combat. Let's concealment change. There isn't any. I think I can safely say that I'll go TI and control this building. That would be okay. All right. No more close combat. Let's take our incremental save. So after looking at the board, I wasn't sure what happened to that unit when we fired up, and I had him under DM. So I think I'll keep him DM and route him back 1 hex like that. I just don't have the patience to go through the log and find out exactly what happened to him. Alright, so now it's British turn 5. He's slugging along. Remove all moves, all pins. And let's roll for NVR. Nothing, of course, but now our NVR is down to a 1 hex. For self-rallies, we'll try to self-rally the unit below at 4 because he's not under a good order leader. And now we'll try to self-rally the leader. nothing, and the leader actually rolled his printed morale, um, 7, because he's wounded. So he is it less than or equal to? Let's do a quick rule book dive. Let's do a quick rule book dive. The unit retains DM until it makes a rally self-rally DR less than or equal to. So he is no longer under DM. There you go. Good stuff. Let's go to next. Next. Prep fire. Nothing. Actually, yes. He'll go TI and do a mop up. There you go. And it only results in a bullet flash if there's casualties for the mop up search DR. Um, so now let's go straight to movement. So one unit will do a string dice roll, and now we'll roll to see if we get a 1 on a 2d6. No. Remember, it'd be snake eyes in a subsequent roll of 1 to 3 on a DR. Clone. So there's 1 to there. We did a strain dice roll. He's good. And then we control the hex. That counts as victory points. So it would be here 2.5, 3.5 to there. Okay. And this fellow is going to go first strain dice roll. Nope. Then they had already moved in these hexes. So there's nothing there. But we'll roll it in any case. See if there's an obstacle. Hey, it's a mine. But now, since we already established that there was a 6 mine factor attack there, there's going to be a 6 mine factor attack there. And, you know, it could have been a case where they stepped on the mine but it didn't go off, but now it did. Alright, 6 attack, 6 even attack. That's not good. 2 on the 6. Is it 1 KIA? Let's put him in the allied casualty bin. Who's that? There's the other mine. Let's move our cloaking counter. Well, let's see if he doesn't stray. No, he does not. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Alrighty. These guys are going to go up 1 hex. And a soft move. Actually, what they can do is mop up. And since there's no, that should have been done at the prep fire phase. And then these guys, wait a second. Get rid of that. They should have mopped up. Allow me to rescind. This is a half squad size. Make things really clear. And somebody's going to take him as a prisoner. Clone. Get rid of this guy. That building belongs to me. Let's unbreak him. Come here, boy. There you go. And put him down there. Okay. We can delete that. Alright, back to movement. So Sax is going to go with this Fanatics half squad. 1 to there, 2, and 5. Everybody else went TI. One guy got blown up by mine. The other guy just controls that bunker hex. Yeah. So this building there is now controlled by the Allies. We control that building. We got a couple more buildings to go. And come defensive fire, we have 2 leaders that can, well, this leader that can roll for freedom of movement. Defensive fire, we got none. Advancing fire, we got none. Route phase, let's clean up the board. And remove all prep and def. And these boys can low crawl to there. These boys can continue to low crawl to here. I think that guy belonged there. Okay. Advance phase for the Allies. He can advance. And he can advance, so we got 2 more buildings. Clone. And clone. And nobody ever stepped into that building. Now that we know where our mines are where their mines are, we can skedaddle here and there. Okay. Close combat phase, we got none, but we can remove all pins. And now we can check for concealment gains. Remove all moves. He's concealed. He should be concealed. These guys should be concealed. Everybody's concealed on the Allied side. And the NVR is just a measly little 1. We still should roll for the rest of the obstacles. And we'll roll as the Allies moved, even if they had moved there previously. Well, after all, it's said and done. It is a game. So that was turn 5A. So turn 5A is done. Now we'll turn to turn 5B. Roll for NVR change, none. Self rally here, 6 or less. Nope. These guys cannot self rally, and as long as they don't roll less than their printed morale, they remain EM. This fellow has to roll less than 7. Nope. And that's a superfluous DM counter unless the sniper's DM. Delete. Okay. So now prep fire. I do not believe I have any. Nope. And movement. Do a movement DR. Need a 1 or a 2. Does not get it. No movement. Defensive fire. I don't see any. Righty. Advancing fire, none. Route phase. I think this fellow can route to there. This fellow can route to here. This fellow can stay where he is because he doesn't want to get back into a DM status. That was funny. A mine showed up there. It's alright. Route phase, advanced phase, close combat, none. And let's save 5B. With 5B gone, we're going on to 6A. Highlight turn. And let's roll for NBR change. Another. Now it's down to 0 NVR. 0 NVR we can only see within our own hex. So that kind of changes things with everything going on. So I will have to take advantage of my ability to move and take the rest of the 2 hexes here. Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Close combat, none. Rally phase. Rally phase, allied, gone. Prep fire, nothing. Movement. Let's move that cloak encounter up to the close and personal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're back in the game. If I take out all these leaders, this unit will not be able to move back. This unit might be able to rally, but they will have to make it all the way to here, let's say. It will be kind of difficult with the amount of time left to do that, to do a little counter attack. So we're going straight to movement. We're going to go with our prisoners, 1 to there and 4 to there. And I could try to bump them, but I don't want to. Okay. We already made it to this building, so we're good. These units here are no longer TI, and they can move 6. 8 with the they could go 8 CX, but we don't want to go CX. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll stay here to get a hold of this building. Can't believe this guy did not rally. The way we're not concerned about freedom of movement, but we have enough units down here to make a difference. We have enough units to grab him. Let's just keep a couple of guards here and there. Alright. Defensive fire, none. Now it's pretty clear because with 0 NVR you cannot see outside of your own hex. Next phase. Advancing fire, none. Route, let's go move. And here, guards attack at half firepower, but they defend at full. I'd rather do that than nothing at all. So advanced phase, route phase, I don't, and here I definitely do not want to route because I'm going to be under DM for the longest period of time, and then I'll have 0 chances of just counter-attacking. I really don't want to break and go under DM, and that's more or less it. All right, so route phase, nothing, advance phase. And he's a good leader, so he'll pop into there. And let's clone and give him something, right? Advance. These guys can advance to here, advance to there. Those boys stay here. These boys guard here. These boys stay here. These boys will actually advance to the lower hex and take their prisoners with them. So get rid of this thing. There you go. Mark M is moved. And I'll guard these building complex there, for better or for worse. And let's go to close combat. So we do have to roll for ambush there. We each have -2 for concealment. That cancels each other out. I have a net -2 because of my leader and being stealthy. So British first, Canadians rolled a 3, and the Germans rolled a 6. So now I do have a clear-cut ambush here. And we're attacking at half our power strength, so that would be a 3. German announces that he will keep his concealment status. So 3 and 1 is 4 for the leader. 4 to 5, which is a 1 to 2, -2. I am not attempting to capture. -2 because of my ambush and my leader. So a 1 to 2, -2, I need a 6 or less. That's infiltration. Now, the momentary status um, of this result is bygones and bygones, and basically now my opponent can withdraw. So let's look up infiltration. We did decide not to attack, and infiltration is in chapter A. Let's just double check it. It's not too far away. So infiltration is 11.22. The simultaneous nature of CC is momentarily suspended following an original CC of 2 or 12, provided it has not already been eliminated, captured, and pinned. Any infantry cavalry unit which rolls a 2 CC may withdraw from CC melee and immediately thereafter in the same close combat phase without being attacked, even if it did not eliminate the defenders. Okay. Any infantry attacked by a original 12 CC may likewise withdraw from CC immediately thereafter, assuming it has not been eliminated by the 12 CC, which is not the case. If the option to withdraw is taken, it must be done immediately. The unit cannot wait to make its own attack. And I think in this case, it is more prudent to withdraw. Yeah, I'm no longer restricted with no movement, and he just lost a victory location, and I'm still intact. So there you go. You got this building though, but we're now in a position to move and retake everything that was taken, and that is why I've left guards behind. Um, so I have one mobile fire group here, 2 actually, hoping that A is an actual unit. I'm not aware of that. These guys really messed up completely, and but they can also move around. He has freedom of movement now, so he is my best leader. He can end up coming to this unit here and giving them freedom of movement as well in the next movement phase. And don't forget, this was close combat. So it is what it is. So this was 6A. Let's save, do our incremental save. I paused the video while the recording while I saved to save you guys. So I did my incremental save, and let's advance it to German rally, turn 6, 2 turns left. This is so amazing with so many twists and turns. Let's see if we're going to increase the NVR. 6.2, 6.2 can decrease it, but we cannot decrease it less than 0. So it stays where it is. That's all fine and dandy. We may have missed a couple of sniper checks in the beginning because I had the info inadvertently to the wrong numbers. Okay. Hey, it's rally phase still, so self-rally here. Oh, they can keep their DMs until they actually have to roll less than their printed morale. Not because they're in the woods. It's almost like a form of a disruption. All right, so now uh, we can go to prep fire, which well, there will be none, and then we'll go to movement. So this fellow here has freedom of movement, so what he will do is go onto there, actually assault move to there. Oh, no. One to there. He can keep his concealment status because NVR 0, and 2, 3, 4 to there. No more, no move. And this fellow can go 1 to there, and 1, and here it is another 3, so 4 to there. And you can delete that as well. So now we have 3 units that are capable of moving. Oh, we forgot to rally these guys up there. So 8 or less, or 7 or less rather. Oh, and the other guy does not get to self-rally. That's my movement. Defensive fire, none. Advancing fire, none. Technically, advancing fire, none. Route phase, read to route. Remove all moves. Prep and death fire. Death, advance phase. So he will, this unit will advance to there. His time is limited, but and Werner is going to advance into the wheat field. There you go. We don't have to worry about obstacles on the road, so we won't have to roll for obstacles on the road. Yeah, okay. That's our advance. Close combat, none. Let's remove all moves. Just when I was coming after those units, they skedaddled. Okay, and the way I play freedom of movement is if this fellow comes around and Tells me move around to move around. Okay, rally phase. Let's do our save. That was 6B. Well, I just looked through the rule book and I can't find anything that says that a hero would impart two moon factors to that single man counter. Um, I know for a fact that hero is not a leader, and leaders can rally units, but heroes can't. So yeah, let's leave it at that and just leave him there and see what happens. I'm pretty sure though I got this building, so I'll clone that. And go there. Okay. Um, defensive fire, I guess nothing. Advancing fire, I'm not going to fire into a melee hex. And route phase, let's remove all moves, all prep, not there was any. And death fire. Let's go to advance, so we got another building here in U5. Uh, we just completely forgot about rolling um, any more obstacles, but maybe we didn't forget. Maybe there was so much movement on the board that the obstacles were probably not in our way. Okay, clone, here we go, boom, and then here, that's another building location hex, clone, Okay, and now down to the wire, close combat, and here we got no more pins. We should have removed all pins from the last time. Okay, so we got here 3, 4, 5, 2, 5. 1 to 1 minus 2. I think that's going to do it. Maybe not. I roll a 6, then that becomes a 4, so yep, that does it. Here, put him in the casualty bin. Actually, I was playing like I had no tomorrow for this fellow. So, clone, and put him there. That hex did not really belong to me because he moved through it. And here, well, let's do the math. It's 1, 4 to 1 to 1 minus 2, I guess. 1 to 1 minus 2. Yep, that got him. Break. This is in the Allied casualty bin. And so I see. Prisoner is freed. Let's see, can we escape? Yep. And no more DM. And this is down. This guy would probably be armed afterwards. So now it's time to tally up what the British achieved. Clone, put that guy there as well. Alright, so in terms of CVP, we got 13, I suppose, if I'm counting it right. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Let's see, let's say it's 13. These guys here are 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 18 plus 4 is 22, 24, 24, keep that in your head, George, plus 3 for the pillbox is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Stop it there. And, yep, Canadian victory. More often than not, I think the Canadians win this scenario. I could be wrong. Let's look at the roar data. And I'm pretty sure this is one of these scenarios that was most often played. See, I also have a little cheat sheet here. Let's take a look at the roar template, or the roar data, war games, advanced squad leader, roar, record by name, control F, and it's called throwing down the gauntlet. Throwing down the gauntlet, scenario 101. It's only been played a couple of times, and 9 times, well, 9 to 5. Almost 2 to 1 odds that the Canadians will win. So, I don't think this scenario is broken. It's lots of fun. And I think the Canadians can lose if they don't play their cards right. Especially if they attempt to just wipe out the German OB as opposed to capturing it and capturing the buildings, the victory locations, especially trying to find this baby and trying to find the AT gun as well. So that was that, guys. That was my play along for today. Good 3 hours of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thanks to all the subscribers. Keep spreading the word. You know, I'm nearly at 612 subscribers, and there's a couple of folks that you know, they're doing well, but I've caught up quite a long ways. I hope to continue providing you quality content. If you have any feedback, any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments below. Until then, have a great time, and I'll see you soon.